position with regard to Declan Rice and the issue he has, and if he's going to be available for the game?
I have to be very vague on that one because there's no clarity whether he's going to be fit or not for the weekend.
There's been reports maybe that there might be a broken toe. Can you elaborate on that?
That's for the doctor, where I can say that he hasn't trained yet, and it's not clear whether he's going to be available or not to play.
Martin Odegaard did come on, albeit late, against Inter Milan. Is he in a position where he can start this game?
Yeah, everybody that is in the squad is going to be fit and available to start the game. So then it will be a decision whether it is too early or is the right moment for him to make that step again.
And I guess that would mean the same for Kai Havertz and Mikel Arteta. They've come through okay and available.
Yes, we'll have to wait till tomorrow to see how they react. Kai was quite a nasty cut and he could not continue. We have to take him off. With Mikel, since the day before, to be fair, he wasn't feeling great, and yeah, we decided to sub him at half-time.
Mikel, it's been 1 point from the last 3 Premier League games, and that's kind of been at odds to the long-term form that you've had before then. Have you had to speak to the players a bit to lift them at all? What's been the message?
Well, obviously, when you don't win, affects the mood, affects the energy, but the positive thing that there is nobody impossible in this room or outside that wants to win more than I do and that these guys in the dressing room wants to do. It is impossible. So that desire today, I had a meeting with them about it and I can sense it straight away. And what I sense as well is a big belief that how good we are as a team. And again, what we did in Milan, watching it back twice, I haven't seen my team doing that against them, but you need to take that into a winning football match because at the end it's the only thing that anybody is going to judge, know how superior you were to the opponent. You outrun the opponent, you outperform the opponent in every single way. It's about, did you score a goal? You didn't. We have a problem. And the problem has to be resolved by scoring more goals than the opponent. That's it.
If you go back to December, you had that similar run as well, when you had that 1 point from 3 games. And then you went on an astonishing run. 8 Premier League wins in a row, I think it was. Have you reminded your players about that? Can you use that experience when you're in a situation like this one?
Yeah, well, the results probably were very similar. The context very different because you tend to forget why you lost a football game again against Bournemouth or what happened, why we didn't win against Liverpool or the amount of situation that we have to go through. It does not matter. At the end, we cannot go to Dubai for a week like we went last time. We can go to Dubai still for 2 days. If that's the solution, we go forwards and backwards. And that the team is doing 10 times more better things than we used to do at that period. That's the positive thing. But to all this to be clear and relevant, you have to win, especially to answer certain questions.
From the outside, it looks like a pivotal game with regard to the title race. I know it's early, and you'll probably say everyone's just got to stay calm, but is it reaching that must-win status because of the teams that you're going to be competing against for this title?
Well, especially because when we have missed certain points in the last few weeks, obviously the margins become smaller and smaller. Doesn't mean that the margin doesn't exist no more, but more perfection is going to demand for the future. So for sure, we want to win, we have to prepare, and we have prepared the game to win it, and that's the only thing that is in our heads.
Final one from me, Mikel. What have you made of Chelsea's progress, in particular the job that Enzo Maresca has done? Because from the outside, a lot of people were saying it looks like a mess at Chelsea, and yet they now find themselves in the top 4.
Well, really impressed about what he's done, but really impressed really what they've done over a year, you know, because with Mauricio as well, the last 6 months, I think they were extraordinary. You could see the squad, the quality they have, the amount of players that they have, and then Enzo has given his touch, you know, and you can see clearly what he wants to do. I think he's been really brave from day one to consistently follow what he wanted to do. I know how he thinks. I know a lot of people that knows him well. And very happy with him that he's making a lot of progress there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ian?
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
Anita, sorry.
Speaking about Chelsea, they're on the same number of points but above Arsenal due to goal difference. Do you feel they're also in the title race this season?
Well, everything is important. I don't know if we're going to get to the last day when the goal difference is important, but certainly it's something to bear in mind.
And how do you neutralise a player like Cole Palmer, who's had the most number of goal involvement so far this season, 7 goals and 5 assists?
Well, that's a question that probably all the managers in the league had in the last year or so, and he's still managed to impact games in the right way. Obviously, we would have a plan not only for Cole, but as well to minimize all the qualities that threats that they have, and try to exploit their weaknesses like any other team.
And just finally, you've always spoken about the standards at Arsenal, that every game it is a must win. If you come out with less than a win on a Sunday, does it almost feel like the title race is out of your hands?
I don't think about that.
Thank you, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ian?
Hi Mikel, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You just said there, nobody wants to win in or outside this building more than you.
No, I promise you that. And nobody worked harder than me to achieve that, or these guys, nobody. Talking maybe yes, but actually working and making sure that this is going to happen, nobody, I guarantee you that.
So have you had to hit a reset button this week to sort of remind the team that you want them to...
No, we don't need a reset. We need, in one particular aspect, go from 95 to 100. I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Go on. Go on.
No?
Okay. Like Arsenal, lots of other teams have been inconsistent recently. Man City, apart from Liverpool, maybe any team that haven't been. Why is that in the Premier League?
I think everybody has been consistently struggling with the level that there is in this league and in general in Europe, playing every 3 days at the level. Because the temperature is going up another level, the level is going up another level. And to win, if not, I would put my fingers here that nobody's going to do 100 points this year. But it will require perfection to keep winning. And even the teams that are winning, the margins are being like this, or the moments in games they've been like this. So very tough, but this is the task.
And do you think the margins between the teams that are, in inverted commas, the smaller clubs, the likes of Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford, and the top teams are getting smaller by the season?
I think so, yeah.
You do. Last one, hopefully your injury problems are easing. They seem to be getting a little bit better. But have we reached, most clubs seem to have had injury problems this season. Have we reached the time when we should have bigger squads in the Premier League?
Well, the actual regulation, I think, is very difficult.
Would you like to see bigger squads?
Well, if we play every 3 days, with the amount of games that we have to play, it's going to be a necessity, that's for sure.
Can you put a number on it? How many you'd like to have?
Sorry?
Can you put a number on it? How many?
A number and the quality of that squad, that's going to be the key. It's not just about a number. You can have numbers from all kind of players. You can throw a lot of names there, but it's about the quality of that squad.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mikel, can I just ask you, because there's a lot of pressure on Martin to come in and fix the attack. Does there need to be an appreciation that you can't just wave a magic wand and make everything all right going forward for you?
No, I think that's obviously we are demanding that. That's not very realistic. It's about the collective. It's about taking ownership, every player, that what we have to do in attacking and doing it better and more consistently. But certainly having a player like Martin helps, because he's shown how important it's been for us in the last 3-4 years.
When you were going through that difficult run around the turn of the year, I remember you spoke about showing players clips, looking at body language and reaction to missing chances. Is that something you see as a big part of the game, how the team reacts to when they're having these struggles?
Well, there are various ways. I think the results in the last 2, because let's leave Bournemouth away because that's a very different context to that, the problem is quite well identified and very resolvable.
And just one last one on Martin. He wasn't named in the Norway squad, but there's been some sort of suggestion he could possibly, depending on how he goes the weekend, maybe join up with them for the break. Is that something that's still ongoing discussion with Norway? Let's
see how it goes, how he trains tomorrow. He's available, he's fit. If he does play, how he feels after that, and then we'll make the decision between the 3 parties.
James?
Just one more on Martin, if I can. Obviously he's club captain, he's got such a sort of personal drive. While he's been out, has he been sort of prominent around the squad? Has he helped you with messaging and motivation? Because it seems to us like he's the kind of character that it's hard to sort of separate from that, even when he's injured.
Yes, he's always very close, always very active with the team. He knows the role, responsibility that he has, and he's tried his best, but obviously not having him in the squad, in the team, in the hotel with us on many occasions, it is different. But I think the team on that issue, especially when we talk about motivation, had no issues at all.
There's this idea maybe among some fans that he comes back in and the team maybe clicks again going forward. Is it too simplistic a way to look at it like that?
Well, we hope that is going to help because he's been incredibly good for us, and the impact he has in the team, not only in that phase but in other phases that are so linked to the attacking phase, especially the way we transit from one to other. But yeah, and he's been out for a while as well, so let's let's hope that it's going to be very fast and that he can impact the team, and that's the way I think.
And you said earlier you think nobody's going to do 100 points. There's sort of been this perception in the last...
That I think that is going to be very difficult.
Yeah. There's been this perception maybe in the last couple of years that because the standard is so high that if you lose 1 or 2 games, whenever it is in the season, that's kind of it because of how consistent City have been. But do you feel it's a bit different then this year? And is that something that you've maybe said to the players the last couple of days, that actually 1 or 2 results, it's not, you know, a catastrophe, it's not a disaster as it maybe could have been in the past?
No, well, we don't know how it's going to play out if there is a team that is able to do something like this, but everybody's struggling even if it's winning. That's the thing. And sometimes the margins you could feel were bigger in games. They are not at the moment. I haven't seen a team being that superior to other teams. But at the end, the fact is that you have to continue to win and find ways and details to keep the right to win the games.
Stephen?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You often speak about the togetherness among the players. How important is that now, given the challenges the squad have faced in recent weeks?
That's the joy of this team, that you go in there this morning and thinking of how they're going to feel after that, and we talk about, and they are there. They are paying attention, they are hungry, they want to do more, what else we can do, and it's unbelievable. The desire they have, the togetherness that they have is just a joy to work with them.
And Chelsea is the 4th away game in a row. What can you kind of say about the support that you and the players have felt from Preston to Newcastle and Milan?
The fans are been incredible. The way they follow, the way they support the team, and unfortunately, the last 2 we haven't had the chance to bring the victory with us. So, the London Derby is a good place.
Come here.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Away from home last season, your team had a really good record, but this season it's maybe not been the same. You've not scored in the Premier League away from home since City. You've had the second lowest number of shots of any team away from home in the league. Do you think that's down to a lack of creative spark, or do you think there's other things at play there?
Well, there is another thing, that obviously the level of opposition that we have played, that's for sure, because nobody has played the away games that we have played this season, and certainly not in the condition of playing half of those games with 10 men. Nobody in the league.
And to cope without Martin, you've tweaked the midfield a bit, you changed the formation a little bit. Is the plan now to go back to sort of what it was before when you sort of had the 4-3-3 style set? Do you think we'll be going back to that and leaving the 4-4-2 behind, or will you sort of flipped in between the two?
Well, we have to adapt a lot of things this season because we have a lot of injuries and a lot of situations, especially in the backline and midfield. So that's something that the team is learning as well and adapting to it, and a lot of times it has worked really well. And in other times that something is missing because it's going to be different. But the team certainly has the capacity to do that.
Thanks a lot.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Right at the start, you said there are 10 things the team are doing better this year than they were last year. I was just wondering, would you be willing to share any of those, or was that a no as well?
Yeah, if I compare how we play against Porto, Bayern Munich, and how we played against Inter Milan away in Europe, there is no comparison whatsoever. But they're not intent probably in 20 aspects of the game, and having everything, all the post-match review after that, it is very clear. The thing is that you need a result there. At the end, the outcome was the same, but it should have been very different. But this is football. That's the beauty of it. That even you doing that, you scratch your head and they get very frustrated because how the hell we haven't won that game? Well, there are a few aspects to that.
And can I just ask about a couple of subs you've made in recent games? You've brought on Ethan and Alex at the same time against Newcastle and against Inter. I was just wondering, how do they kind of change the dynamic together when they come on at the same time?
Well, I think it was a bit different, the state of the 2 games. One, because we lost control and Newcastle, and there are certain spaces that I believe that those 2 players were ideal. We never got any momentum with it. And with Inter, it was a bit different and a bit better. But yeah, we need to understand how we can change games.
Well, last one in the live section from Molly.
Mikel, para este partido que vas a tener contra Chelsea, ¿es muy diferente como